Welcome to Week 7. This week we're talking about ethics programs and the importance of ethics programs in managing risks in the organization. First thing you want to think about, you have to identify what those risks are, and that generally takes the form of a code of ethics or code of conduct. Second, you need somebody high in the organization to manage, run, and secure the assets to run the program within the organization. This is not a profit-generating center within the organization, so you have to constantly kind of defend that what you're doing is good for the business, good for the organization, and relates to the profitability long term. Third, ethics training. Key, core, incredibly important, whether it's occurring face-to-face, online. Are you validating that employees are understanding what the risks are, what needs to occur on their part in their position within the organization? Does it occur on an annual basis? If the business changes or the risks in the industry change, is your ethics training also changing along with it? Next, if you're going to hire someone or promote them in the organization, you want to make sure you don't put somebody in a position of authority who has a propensity to bend or break the rules. So you need to show due diligence in hiring and promotion within your organization. You need to have continuous improvement. When you recognize that you've got employees that are doing things that are in violation of your industry, your company's ethics training, you need to reshape, reform, rethink, and inform how that ethics training actually occurs and is validated. So there are many elements that go into a good ethics program, and this week you also read the Ferrell article, which looked at giving voice to values, Mary Gentile's work, that has been interpreted by a number of different organizations, including Lockheed Martin, in a little bit different way. So I want to ask OC, can you tell us a little bit about the giving voice to values stream of thinking and some of Mary Gentile's thoughts in the area?
Yes. Well, Linda mentioned an effective ethics program is very important for any company to have, and an effective ethics program takes into account both values, core values of an organization, as well as compliance activities that occur throughout the organization to keep even rogue employees on the right track. Well, Mary Gentile has created an incredible amount of excitement in the business ethics world with her book, Giving Voice to Values. She's at Babson College, and she is running seminars, I think in the next few weeks, bringing in many faculty from around the country, teaching them how to carry out the giving voice to values in the classroom. Now, when her book first came out, there were commentaries that stated, "Throw your business ethics books away, this is all you'll ever need to know." That's when Linda and I and Tracy Gonzalez-Pagon, as well as Ian Smith, we decided to write a little bit of a critique or rebuttal that you've read this week. And the reason we did that is because while we support her basic premise that employees need to learn how to communicate, and they do need to step up and communicate when they see things that are not appropriate, but on the other hand, it's a very limited view of what is needed in terms of a holistic or a comprehensive ethics program within an organization. Communication from employees is just one small aspect of the overall program of activities that need to be done to keep a company on track. And so it has to be taken in context. And that was our only message. So the other issue related to this, as I've talked to ethics officers and some business people, is that values of individuals, there's tremendous diversity. We call it ethical diversity in a company. And often employees don't understand all the complexity involved in making a particular decision. So companies are not real excited about empowering employees every time they feel the company's doing something that doesn't fit their values to take the time of their superior or the company to say, "Will you explain this to me?" On the other hand, companies like Lockheed Martin, they changed the title to Giving Voice to Our Values. And they do want employees to speak up, but they want to address it in terms of Lockheed Martin's stated values and codes of ethics, not in terms of, "Hey, I just feel like this is, I don't feel comfortable doing this." Certainly, that's okay. But again, it has to be tempered by what the company is trying to accomplish. And we have to assume that if you have an ethics program, that the company has thought of its risk areas and it has tried to address those risk areas in documents and codes of conduct and other activities. So while some of our communication methods are very effective, for example, it's just fine for an employee to say to their superior, I don't feel comfortable doing this, to create a conversation. And that's what she's really saying. It's not necessarily, I won't do this, it's a highly unethical act. It's more or less, let's talk about this because I don't understand why we're doing it this way. And if you get a dialogue going, as she points out very effectively, that this could even get the company thinking about whether a particular issue is ethical or unethical. And as we've mentioned before, last week, we mentioned that many issues are hard to discover. Sometimes a company gets involved in doing something that really they did not think about the ethical dimensions. So, Linda?
Just wanted to wholeheartedly agree with what OC said, and also say that there's good news and bad news at the point. This is week 7, so that means there's 3 weeks left. Good news. Bad news, this is week 7, and there's 3 weeks left. So we're enjoying all this interaction, and we're going to be sorry when this comes to an end, but we'll see you next week. Thank you.